Look, they got Aston Villa tonight, Ray, but you actually are backing them to win.
Yeah,
You're changing your mind, didn't
well,
you?
you change it for me. But yeah, I can see the arguments against my prediction, saying they ain't going to win because they ain't scored a goal for 4 games. So that's a bit of a problem. But I just think it's got to turn a corner sooner or later. Whether it does against a really good Villa side who are unbeaten in the last 4 away from home, is another matter,
fire, mate. Yeah,
absolutely. But
I think it's going to be another nail in the coffin, mate. I really do for Ten Hag
I just
tonight.
can't see him getting rid of him, though. I really don't until the end of the season, at least.
Nah.
I think they get to the end of the season.
Nah.
Well, if they're going to change him, they've got to start looking now. Who's available?
Graham Potter.
Would you think he'd do a good job?
I think Ratcliffe wants to go.
Is that too big for him?
It's a big job. I think it's a massive job.
Look at Chelsea.
Yeah, but look at Chelsea now. Do you know what I mean? They're an absolute.
Well, how's he going to turn Man United around now?
Well, I think there's a project there, and I think there's some young players at Man United, and I think someone like him could do a good job. Ten Hag, for me, I think he's lost the dressing room. I really do.
Well, that's the big question. And if he has, then there's a massive problem. Because if people are going against you, the Sancho situation doesn't help and all that sort of stuff because the players were there, they've seen what's happened. But I'm still amazed that Sancho's not even said sorry.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, when you're playing for Manchester United and you might have to bite your lip and say, I think I'm in the right, but I'm going to go and say sorry just so I can play again.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to play again. I think that's the problem.
Well, that's the big problem. And whether that's, I don't know what on a day-to-day basis where Sancho is. Is he training on his own? What's he doing? Is he there?
I think he's at Fashion Week all over Europe. I don't know.
So that might be a problem because he might have a few mates in the team who don't like how he's been treated.
I think he's liked in the dressing room. That's the thing. Jadon Sancho is liked with some of the players and how he's been treated I don't think it's going down very well. But Jim Ratcliffe, he's acquired 25% of the club. He's going to take over the football side. So it's all go at Manchester United.
Well, he's got a big job on his hands.
It's a big job. Let's welcome to the show talkSPORT reporter and huge Man United fan, Angelina Kelly. Angelina, good morning.
Morning, Angelina.
Good morning.
Merry Christmas. Hope you had a good day.
Yeah, it was lovely, thanks. Merry Christmas.
Look, massive game this tonight for Manchester United and big pressure on Ten Hag at the moment and a lot of people calling for his head.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the West Ham game with some Man United fans and a few were actually saying, could this be his last game against Aston Villa if this goes really, really wrong? You can understand why people are starting to get frustrated now because you can't even see a direction as to where he's going. A lot of Man United fans getting very frustrated over Scott McTominay and the positions that he's playing him in and how this is affecting other players such as Bruno Fernandes, for example. So, yeah, you can understand why people are getting frustrated. I think Manchester United fans in general, nobody wants to see Erik Ten Hag go. People want to see him succeed. Nobody wants to see this merry-go-round continue of managers coming in, things going wrong, them getting sacked, etc. But now it's getting to the point where how do we go forward for the rest of the season with this football? I mean, 13th defeat of the season, more than the entirety of last season already. It's not looking good for him. Maybe with Jim Ratcliffe coming in, there are rumours that his job is secure now, but like I say, it all does seem to weigh on this Aston Villa game for a lot of Manchester United fans.
Well, how does he change it, Angelina? Is it personnel? Like Rashford was off on the bench the other day. You had Eriksen, Amrabat. Will he change certain individuals for this game tonight, or does he stick with the same 11 and try and get that result? Because at the moment they're lacking confidence. There's no belief. They haven't scored for 4 games, which is a big problem. So how does he change it, though?
I mean, he best make some changes because I cannot watch that him starting 11 that I saw against West Ham. Alejandro Garnacho, he has been amazing. Obviously, he scored that great goal, but he really wasn't very effective on that left-hand side against West Ham. So perhaps it is a case of bringing Marcus Rashford in because I do feel like Garnacho is a better impact player coming off the bench. Marcus Rashford, I don't think we see that much impact off the bench that regularly from him. Obviously, we've got players like Kobbie Mainoo, who's been in, one of the younger players. We had Willy Kambwala come in, who actually had a really solid game next to Johnny Evans. But I think that we'll probably see Raphael Varane back in. I know that Erik Ten Hag is going to play Scott McTominay. A lot of people are not happy with this and don't believe that him and Bruno Fernandes can play in the same team. But I think the main thing has got to be we need goals. Højlund needs to be on the pitch. He needs that Premier League goal. It's becoming a bit of a circus around him now. It's kind of embarrassing, let's be honest, that he's still not scored this Premier League goal. So
but
I
in
think
the Champions League, though, he's brilliant.
It's insane, isn't it? Champions League, he was great. And then the Premier League, we're not seeing anything. So I think we really need to, a bit of an arm around the shoulder. We need to make sure he gets this goal now. So I would really like to see him. Yeah, I'd like to see him start. I think Marcus Rashford on the left. Anthony surprisingly had an okay game against West Ham. This is how bad it's got for Manchester United, in that Anthony moved the ball forward more than he moved it backwards in the game against West Ham. And that was actually a positive. He created 1 or 2 chances. So, I mean, most Manchester United fans are fed up with him and the price that he cost, etc. But, he's there. So if maybe he can continue that momentum of playing half decent against West Ham, and he'll bring that to Aston Villa. So those are the changes that I expect to see. I would like Scott McTominay to not start, but knowing Erik Ten Hag, I don't see that happening.
I just want to ask Angeline, did you see a lot of movement in the transfer window for Manchester United? I mean, you've got to get players out as well. Maybe Sancho's one of those players, but can you see them trusting Ten Hag to say there's some money, you might need 2 more players?
Again, I hope so, because this cannot continue. We need reinforcements. I'm a bit more of the brutal thinking of, if people don't want to be there, if people don't want to play, if people don't want to apologise, then they need to go. We can't continue this. Even people like Anthony Martial, he has been at the club for so long, and I know that there are a lot of people that do like him, but how many chances are we going to give this player? We need more reinforcements when it comes to scoring goals. We've not scored, in 4 games now? So they need to be brutal. But knowing Manchester United, not a lot of big business gets done in the January transfer window. We had Bruno Fernandes a few seasons ago, obviously, but being realistic, I don't see a lot of business going on. But my heart says that we really do need some reinforcements.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.